All right. Peter Griffin here, your neighborhood fragrance fanatic. Remember that time I tried to impress that Victoria's Secret model with my homemade love potion number 9? Ended up smelling like a gym sock marinated in old cheese. Let's just say date night was a disaster. Look, fellas, we've all been there. You think you smell like $1,000,000? Turns out you reek like disappointment. But fear not. Today, your friendly fragrance guru is on a mission to find the sexiest, longest-lasting colognes that'll make you smell like a freaking Greek god, even after a day of, Griffin-related shenanigans. Buckle up. This ain't your grandma's potpourri review. First on the Sexy Scent Safari, we have Valentino Wo Intense. Now, this one's for the fellas who like to leave a little bit of mystery in the air. Think Italian playboy with a secret smile. Wo Intense is all about smoldering intensity with a touch of sophistication, the kind of cologne that'd make even Quagmire blush. Professionals would classify this as a leathery Oriental fragrance. Don't worry, it doesn't smell like a dusty old armchair. Think more like a luxurious Italian leather jacket you just bought on a shopping spree in Milan. But Wo Intense ain't all tough guy. It's got a surprising sweetness, too. This bad boy hits you with a wave of rich leathery notes, thanks to a little something called Iris Absolute. Now, Iris Absolute sounds fancy, but trust me, it smells amazing. Imagine the smoothest, most luxurious leather wallet you've ever seen, dipped in a vat of dark chocolate. That's the kind of vibe we're talking about, but don't let the sweetness fool you. A hint of spicy ginger sneaks in there, too, like a mischievous glint in your eye. It adds a touch of playfulness, lets everyone know you're not just a brooding Italian stallion. You can have a little fun, too. Maybe even loosen up enough to finally ask Meg to a dance. Although, good luck with that. The magic really happens in the dry down, where the coffee and iris come together to create a truly unforgettable scent. Coffee adds a touch of energy and warmth, like you're ready to take on the night, espresso in hand. The iris comes back around, but this time it's mingled with the coffee, creating a smooth, almost powdery sweetness that's both masculine and intriguing. And let me tell you, fellas, Wo Intense is a long-lasting champ. You could be explaining Lois's latest art project to the neighbors. Burnt toast masterpiece, anyone? Wrestle Brian for the remote control over a particularly dramatic episode of Downton Abbey. Don't judge. And still come out smelling like a smooth operator, not a sweaty mess. This cologne is basically bottled confidence, the kind that'll make you feel like you can charm the paint off the Sistine Chapel. Just be warned, fellas, with this much magnetism, you might have to fight off a few Louise wannabes. But hey, that's a problem for future Peter, right? All right. Now that we've explored the adventurous side of things, let's shift gears. Next on the Sexy Scent Safari, we have Tom Ford Noir Extreme. This one's for the fellas who like to make a bold statement. You know, the kind of guys who wouldn't be caught dead wearing Meg's sparkly unicorn slippers. Think James Bond with a mischievous twinkle in his eye, or, well, me trying to sneak another slice of Lois's pie. Noir Extreme is all about intensity, a little bit of darkness, and oh so magnetic. Just like the time I accidentally glued myself to the living room chair. Let's just say Lois wasn't amused. Professionals would classify Noir Extreme as a spicy Oriental fragrance. Now, that might sound fancy, but basically it means this cologne packs a punch. It hits you with a wave of spicy cardamom and floral notes. A combo that'll have you feeling like you can take on the world, even if the world is just convincing Stewie to share his juice box. The cardamom is the real star here, folks. It adds a warm, almost peppery kick that'll wake you up faster than a cup of Lois's questionable coffee. But don't worry, it's not overpowering. It's balanced by the floral notes, which some might call feminine. Peter Griffin, afraid of smelling a little flowery? Absolutely not. A real man can handle a touch of sophistication, even if it confuses Brian. Then, Noir Extreme settles into a warm, leathery base. This is where the Oriental part comes in, fellas. Think luxurious leather armchair in a dimly lit library, the kind of place where you'd sip on a fancy scotch and contemplate the meaning of life. Or at least, contemplate how to get out of helping Lois with the dishes. But remember, a little goes a long way with this one. You don't want to be the guy who clears the room with his cologne, unless, of course, your goal is to clear the room so you can finally win that game of hide-and-seek with Stewie. Trust me, that kid has a sixth sense for trouble, and a strong cologne won't help you hide from his laser tag wrath. Here's the good news. Noir Extreme is a long-lasting champion. You could be sweating like a sinner in church after a hot date. Good luck getting one, fellas. Chasing Brian around the house with a whoopee cushion classic, and still come out smelling like a mysterious rogue, not a sweaty mess. All right. Now that we've explored the sophisticated side of sexy scents, let's switch gears a bit. Time to add a dash of playful to the mix. Here Comes Why by Yves Saint Laurent, fellas. This one's all about youthful energy, a scent that says, "Hey there, beautiful stranger. Want to get into a little bit of trouble?" In the best way possible, of course. Professionals would call Why a fougere aromatic fragrance, which is a fancy way of saying it's a blend of fresh herbal notes with a touch of woodsiness. Think of it as a cologne that's like a cool summer breeze after a refreshing prank on Meg, though maybe lay off the whoopee cushions for a bit, fellas. Why hits you with a burst of freshness with a touch of sweetness right off the bat? We're talking juicy apple and crisp mint, a combo that'll make you feel like you just mowed the lawn on a perfect summer day, without the sweat, of course. The lavender in there adds a touch of sophistication, like you're a charming rascal with a mischievous twinkle in your eye. Imagine Peter Griffin with a bucket of water balloons and a mischievous grin. That's the vibe, fellas! The magic of Why doesn't stop at the first sniff, though. As the day goes on, the fragrance settles into a base of warm amber and woody notes. It's like the playful energy from the beginning matures into something a little more intriguing, a hint of mystery that'll leave people wondering what kind of adventure you're about to embark on. Think of it as the cologne equivalent of setting off fireworks on the 4th of July. A little bit of playful chaos with a lasting impression. And the best part? This fragrance stays with you throughout the day. You could be chasing Meg around the house with a whoopee cushion, because apparently Peter never learns, wrestling Brian for the remote control, or even explaining your latest artistic endeavor to Lois. Burnt toast masterpiece, anyone, and you'll still smell like a playful prankster, not a sweaty mess. There you have it, fellas. 3 powerhouse fragrances guaranteed to make you smell irresistible all day long. Remember, confidence is key, but a good cologne sure doesn't hurt. Now, if you'll excuse me, I gotta go borrow some of Lois's fancy perfume. Wish me luck. Until next time, folks, stay fragrant.